Well, in the interest of time, I think I am going to go ahead and get us started. It is May 22nd, and this is the Central Kansas Community Foundation and affiliate board orientation. We try to conduct these about quarterly, just as an opportunity to allow new board members a chance to kind of see a balcony view of the work and the process that we do in our system of community foundations across the Central Kansas region. I am Angie Tatro, the CEO of Central Kansas Community Foundation, and we also have Carrie Herman, our executive director of the foundation. And in the Augusta boardroom, we have Becky Nickel, our affiliate liaison, who works with all of our affiliate foundations across our service area. So I am going to just kind of jump in. Do let me know if there's any audio or visual issues. We kind of go pretty fast through this. It is really just kind of an introduction just to welcome you. Thank you for serving, answering that call to action and being really willing to learn more about our community foundation model and the resources in your community that can benefit from the charitable contributions that donors give through our foundations. There is on the agenda, if you did not happen to get a copy of this agenda, on our events tab on our website, which I'll be going to in a little bit, there is an agenda link to that now. And this Dropbox link has a lot of additional information, which I'll kind of point to here in a moment. I'm going to see if I can find which tab I put it under. I guess that's where I've got the agenda up. In this affiliate orientation folder, there's an affiliate file for each of the affiliates, except for Augusta. We will get that one built out now that you are formalizing. There's information about the CKCF operational budget, our organizational documents, as we are the legal entity, the 501c3 umbrella over all our 19 affiliate foundations. There's an additional resource file with just some other helpful resources and the video files. If I have technical problems today, some days we have technical problems with these videos, other days it goes smooth. I have yet to figure out why it works sometimes and not others, other than there's gremlins in the system. But if for any reason you don't, you can reference these video files in this Dropbox. And then of course, our agenda for today. But we have found that that is a helpful guide just to have that backup to reference at different times. Different times that you're looking for different information about our affiliate model. But staff are always a resource to you as well. From that, I am going to now attempt to do one of my videos, which is just a partner foundation, allows us to use their video that explains what a community foundation is. So let me know if this doesn't work, and I probably need a verbal because once I click it, I can't see you all. So if it doesn't work, Carrie or Becky, please speak up so I know it's not working. And we'll give this a try. Let's see, now I'm just trying to find where the go is.
When you were little, you dreamed big.
There we go.
Maybe you had visions of the good you do in the world, how you might change your community. Now, you have the means, but there are so many worthy causes in need of help. Where do you start? Your community foundation has the answer. It's local and dedicated to improving the community where you live. Here's how it works. You can start your own fund. by giving cash, stock, real estate, or other assets. If you wish, your community foundation will help you match your interests in the arts, education, economic development, or other causes with charities that share your passion. Plus, you can decide whether you want to give now or later. Community foundations offer tax advantages and personalized services that create a seamless giving process for you. We'll work with you or your professional advisor. And as your giving helps to better your community, everyone benefits, now and in the future. Unity Foundations help you on your path to personal philanthropy, making it easier for you to do good. So when you're ready to give, visit your community foundation. Together, we can create something special that will last forever.
Now I just have to get that off my screen.
Drinking warm water
Whoops.
before bed balances blood sugar
That's
levels
not
and
what we want.
reverses type 2.
All right. So just kind of a high level overview, introduction type of a video to kind of explain the work that we do. It's about charitable good in our communities for the benefit of qualified charitable entities that we identify as 501c3s, educational institutions, faith-based institutions, and our municipalities. Yes, Kevin.
Yeah, can you have everybody mute their lines? I mean, there's a lot of background noise. You're really difficult to hear. I don't know what happened, but that worked.
Okay,
Thanks.
you bet. So on this next section, I'm just going to kind of rattle off a few highlights here. We are one model in the community foundation world. Again, we are an accredited community foundation that has a standard of excellence that we're very proud of in our field. We are a host foundation, which makes us a little bit more unique within the model of community foundations, meaning Central Kansas Community Foundation is an umbrella organization that then has local community-based or field-based affiliates under their umbrella, utilizing our 501c3 and our charitable aspects of service within that model. So with the Augusta Community Foundation rejoining us, we are at 19 affiliate foundations in our service area, which spans across central Kansas. We basically cover about 6 county areas of service. We're based in Harvey County in Newton, Kansas, and are very proud to serve across the central Kansas region. We do have our support staff that are always available to all of you. And I'm going to kind of move myself over to our website because if you haven't taken a moment to look at our website, it really is a point of content that we do like to drive individuals to as just a storage of information and resources to help you when you wake up in the middle of the night and you want an answer and we're not available to you. But one of the key places that resources are kind of identified for you is under this affiliates tab at the top button row. And within that, you will see a link for staff, and you can find out a little bit about what each of us do, primary reasons why you might need to contact one of us, and then our email and our phone number. So the core staff at the Central Kansas Community Foundation office is listed here to provide you those resources. So from our scholarship officer, our grants officer, Becky and Carrie and my information, as well as a key person for affiliates is our accounting specialist, Melinda Newell. If you need reimbursements or have login questions over time for how to get into the portal or running reports, she is a real go-to person. So that's just hopefully handy and helpful for you to find our information about staff resources. With our accreditation, as I mentioned earlier, we take doing our work seriously on a very high level and want to be sure, because we are working with donor gifts, financial resources, that we really attend to standards of confidentiality, recognizing that in our communities there could be perceived or real conflicts of interest for being involved with certain donor information or grant information. And so annually, to kind of keep ourselves up to date on any potential conflicts of interest when you're voting on things as board members and whatnot, we do an annual set of annual compliance documents to identify your understanding of the importance of confidentiality. We learn a lot of private information at times through scholarship applications or in regard to just donor gifts that are being made. We must be cautious about talking about those details publicly, because it's not our place to share those kinds of details without permission. So just reminders on that. Becky, as she goes around to board meetings, talks a lot about these kinds of standards and reminds you, but as you fill out the compliance documents for the first time or annually, really do read through them and recognize the necessity of that information and the type of work that we do. It also talks about directors and officers insurance. It is helpful for all of you to know that CKCF does provide umbrella insurance coverage for all of our work, but in particular as board members, we do carry director and officer coverage. I always do like to add, if someone is negligent in some activity or effort, that insurance will not protect you. It's for claims that are unfounded and untrue, because of the litigious society that we tend to live in these days. But recognizing, we hope everybody's above bar and ethical and what have you. So just reminders on those fronts as well. If you have questions as you go through your packet, always feel free to let any of the staff know, and we can try to answer those questions as best we can. With our services that Central Kansas Community Foundation offers to our affiliates, some key things are just the overall accounting system and the fund management software. We are a unique industry. We have very specialized software that subcategorizes each fund. We do invest our funds. So we have a finance and investment committee at the CKCF board level, of which we have members of affiliate boards on our board to help be the voice of our affiliates. We always welcome any attendance from affiliate board members to any board meeting or any of our committee meetings, finance or otherwise. So just know there's always an open invitation. Never hesitate to inquire when and where those meetings are being held. We love to have our affiliate leaders involved in the decision-making and kind of leadership decisions that are being made from the CKCF level. We also provide all the donor receipts through our office. We recognize that there's different types of gifts that require different types of charitable receipts based on IRS regulations. Melinda leads that process for us. Locally, we encourage every affiliate to have a system in place for thanking your donors. So in addition to the formal letter that comes from our office, writing that personalized handwritten thank you note is genuinely appreciated by donors and is just a great way to make your local presence with your donorship. We also conduct, and we just finished our 2023 Independent external audit of the foundation. I will be posting our 990 and our 2023 financial statements. I hope even today. Our board just approved everything on Monday, so we have got through that 2023 process and have a clean audit and report. So that is important, I know, as your board members and you're talking in communities about the backbone of the host organization that you're aligned with, to know that we take those types of internal checks very seriously as well. We also do have the investment services that we provide. Greystone Consulting is our primary investment manager, and they are out of Wichita. They're a kind of dotted line arm of Morgan Stanley, but we also work with local investment managers. When a gift from a donor is 200,000 or greater, we encourage that they stay with those relationships that they have. So we have funds with Edward Jones, Everence Financial, Waddell and Reed, and some others. So just, we love, especially new board members and associates of ours, to be aware of that, because some of those longer term relationships seem to align with sometimes with persons of greater wealth that want to work on placing some funds with the foundation, would like to keep those relationships. So at this time, that's the level of funding that maintains that ongoing relationship. And of course, we work closely with financial advisors, because they're working with individuals on their IRAs or their required mandatory distributions and those different types of gifts. So we want to foster and engage those types of relationships along with our bankers and others sectors in our community. Accounting, legal and insurance coverage. I already talked to the insurance coverage. Legal also is important. Just to note, we do have Tom Adrian is our legal counsel for the foundation. If issues arise or special gifts come into play, we do have representation through Tom to support the foundation. There are times, and this is also important just to note, there can be certain gifts that are being explored, or different types of plan gifts with estate plans and whatnot. Those requirements are managed by the donor and at the donor's expense. If ever anything comes up that requires some legal vetting, we can always have those conversations ahead of time in regard to what does our legal counsel pay for that's in the CKCF budget, and then what is on a donor side to prepare. Just like if we get a land gift or a real estate gift, having the appraised valuation of the gift, that cost is on the donor, not on the foundation. So there's lots of little details on that sometimes I get on my little squirrel run here and could go on and on. But if those kinds of things do come up, please just let us know so we can help navigate the steps for that work. I want to go back here to another part of our website. Definitely this Donate Now button is a great place to go, and Augusta will be getting you up here with a list of your funds, but these are our affiliates, and you can pop into any fund. I'll use Gossel here as an example, and then it links to the online giving platform. If you have donors that want to give through an online credit card option, they can go into this portal. But it also is a way to see funds within each affiliate foundation. We also recognize that not everybody gives online, but we are seeing more and more gifts conducted that way. We also have under this events tab, foundation calendar of events. So this meeting was on here, and this is where you can find the agenda and details I was speaking to. Wednesday of next week, we have a grant writing workshop that we're co-hosting in Gossel to help our charities learn more about how to write successful grants. We have our spring soiree coming up the 13th of June. So this is just a great place to be able to come to events and activities for not only CKCF, but for our affiliate activities as well. And then a very important button is this apply button. This is where you can find grant cycle information. So we have kind of two main buckets of how our grants are distributed. Competitive grant cycles is one, and Melissa Schreiber is our program officer for grants. She maintains this calendar of activity for each of our affiliates that have a competitive grant cycle for our charities. The details of that is throughout the year. I think we have 22 individual competitive grant cycles throughout our service area annually. But this page just has some other details and resources for grant writing and such. Also, under this tab, apply is for scholarship season. We're just completing our scholarship cycle, and I think we had, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, 100-ish scholarships were awarded to 70 some students this year. So we in our system have a lot of scholarships that really do help with higher education for our young people. So information is on this. Brandy Garnica is our program officer for scholarships. She's a great resource, and we know we have a number of new scholarships that have been developed the end of last year and the beginning of this year, that this summer is our time to get those fine-tuned to be prepared for the 2025 application period. So always a lot going on with grants and scholarships. I'll loop back when I said there's two ways with grants being distributed. One is the competitive cycle, but the other, which is more of our giving, is based on the destination identified in the memorandum of understanding of the particular fund. So some are designated immediately to a destination charity, like for instance, a church, a faith-based institution. Others may be granted through donor advised funds, where the individual couple or family are the donor advisors, and they direct us each year with where they want their gifts to go. And then we assist them with making those contributions. And then, you know, there's a number of other funds that have advisors that make the decisions on recommendations for the charitable distributions each year. So in addition to competitive grant cycles, there's the other resources and tools that make grant making within our system, which for multiple years we have distributed well over $1 million throughout our communities. Our numbers the past couple of years have been a little skewed because we've had some big projects. With the Newton Public Library, we maintained a fund for them, and like $2 million went out in one year, so that really skewed our overall granting numbers. But I would say we're averaging the past 3 or so years about $1.25 million going out to causes in the more general light, without isolating those bigger projects that we're giving to. So that's what we really are about, is how are we making that community impact within our local communities. Okay. Fund advisors is our language for individuals that are tied to a particular fund. So there's information on here for them. In particular, 2024, we instituted some new investment and spending policies. This is a great place for you to get a little grounded, looking at some of these state of foundation recordings that we have done, looking at our investment policy, and some charts that kind of show how our spending policy, which means from an endowment fund, how much is available for distribution each year. We use a 5-year moving average calculation and now have a new tiered system that also looks at surplus balances versus deficit balances if principal has been breached over the years, in particular with 2022 investment performance being poor. Our investment committee came together and made some restrictions on giving on some deficit funds. So we're happy to talk more about that as you learn more and get a greater understanding of our system. But that is relatively new. And if you talk to individuals that have had funds for a while, that has been a change this year, which I think is noteworthy to share. Then our affiliate toolkit. This has a lot of information for you to go into as well. I would strongly encourage going into the affiliate tab and going link by link by link and just reading through the information. Take an hour and just absorb this information if you have not done so already. The next thing on our agenda is just kind of speaking to fundraisers versus growing your affiliates. Fundraisers are friend makers on the way to developing deeper relationships for establishing funds, establishing planned gifts, identifying projects that are important in a community for the greater good of the community-wide benefit. You will hear us say we understand that there's events and activities that go on, but that is not our main focus. You will get much more out of having coffee with someone, finding out what matters to them, what's important to them in their community, and then how can that be moved to a gift into an existing fund or a gift in establishing a new fund for causes that are important to them. So we are a little bit different than the day-to-day charity that has their specific mission for the services that they're providing and fundraise to garner support to be able to programmatically put those resources toward their mission. Our missions are vast. You know, we have our basic mission of building stronger communities through charitable giving, but with that, we're supporting a whole array of charitable needs and intentions. So more will come of that as you hear and attend different events within the foundation and at the board table, talk about ways that your foundation can make a difference and what is important within your community. A few other reference toolkit items. One thing I always like to encourage you all as new board members, it can be overwhelming with some of the affiliates to see long lists of funds. Identify 1 or 2 funds that really mean something to you or you can connect to. Maybe it's a scholarship, maybe it's a local charities agency fund. Whatever it may be, learn about one fund deeply that you can talk about, because that will be your platform for being able to be an ambassador in your community and share details about how the foundation works and its benefits. Another great fund is just our general community impact fund. Every foundation has a general unrestricted grant making fund. Some still need to grow to have resources brought into them so that they can grant out, but they're a great competitive grant cycle within communities to be able to see what are the current needs, what are the current trends, what is most beneficial to the community's current needs or key projects that are within the community. And that giving can be really, really valuable. So just getting familiar with that, I believe, is one of the best things that you can do as a new board member, to hone in on one or two that make sense to you and you can get more information about. Also, we are in the very basis of community foundations is to build endowment. We are to be building funds for not only our generation and in our time, but for the future generations and for the goodwill of our communities after all of us are gone. And we do that by endowment, preserving resources that will be here forever. That does not mean we don't do other special project funds or what we call expendable funds, which are non-endowed funds. We do, but we recognize that endowment is the sustainable funding for causes and charitable missions that are out there in different charities. So there is a number of ways that we want to help our communities grow endowments and foster those relationships with donors that have the resources to establish those funds. And ways to give is listed on here. The beauty about community foundations is we can accept all types of gifts. And on our donor button on the website, how to give, there is, we can take the normal cash check gifts, but we are able to process appreciated stocks that are often a way that donors are wanting to give, especially at larger amounts. We have a history of doing a number of real estate gifts with both land and property. We have also accepted some different personal property gifts over the years. Not every gift is a good gift, I say, but there are protocols that we have in place for our finance committee to work with the donor on personal property or real estate gifts to see that it is a good circumstance for us. We still own some property in Florida that hasn't been very successful for us. So as I said, not every gift is a good gift, but there can be sometimes reasoning behind accepting something that might come with another gift. We also can maintain life insurance policies for the benefit of the foundation, work for specific funds. We have donors that have just listed on life insurance policies us as a beneficiary, and we actually hold a life insurance policy on behalf of a donor for a large gift that will be coming when that individual passes away. So there's lots of unique ways that a foundation can set up gifts in life, as well as for planned giving opportunities. Let me see if I can go back over here. I told you this is kind of fast and just kind of goes through the high points. I'm gonna find my other video here just about board. Maybe I did. Let me go back here. On board basics, I must have clicked off my link I had open. So give me 1 second here to get this pop back up.
The all-new GoDaddy Arrow
I'll get
helps you
the
your business online
ad
events
off
with
as
the power
quickly
of
as I
AI.
can.
With the perfect name, a great look.
A nonprofit is only as strong as its governing board leadership. There are 4 basics to being an effective board member. Let's talk about learning. Being a new board member is kind of like starting a class in school. An effective board member learns not only about the organization, but reflects on why they want to serve. Ask yourself why. Here are some common reasons why people serve on a board. a personal connection to the mission. They were invited to join, a desire to give back, opportunities to grow, network, and develop new skills. So what is your why? And what is your what? What can you bring to the board? And what does the board need from you? Maybe you're hoping to flex your marketing muscle, but what the board needs is to take advantage of your budgeting background. If the two whats don't align, it might be best to look for other opportunities. That's okay. This is why it's important to learn as much as you can before joining the board. Time for a pop quiz. Ask yourself if you can do these things. Can you commit to advancing the mission? Show up, be curious, support the CEO, share ideas and your connections. Do your homework. Have conversations with the organization about what they expect from you. Find out about time and attendance requirements, personal giving expectations, governance structure, and the role board members play in fundraising. Explore potential conflicts of interest. If you answer these questions and you and the organization pass the test, it's time for the fun to begin. You want to be the best board member you can be, so be a good student. Go beyond just reviewing the board minutes. Take a tour, see the mission in action. Find a board buddy to show you the ropes. Have conversations with donors and staff to learn why they love the mission and how you can help to shape the future of the organization. Create a learning plan that works for you and get excited to start.
Are you excited to start?
A nonprofit is only as strong
Oops.
as its governing board leadership.
Now it's gonna roll
There are
again.
4
Hang
basics to
on.
being an effective board member. Let's talk about commitment and how you give is your most powerful tool.
I can't find my links to get out of there. Hopefully it won't start again. What questions do you have? I can't hear you, Becky.
Offer to unmute because we've got 8 people in the room who may have questions.
Well, there's so much that could be gone.
We're gonna leave, but thank you.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your meeting. Thank you for
Thank
joining,
you.
Augusta. There's always so much we can share in these. This is truly just a very fast and high level overview, just to give a little introduction and to know that there are resources for you to be able to access. Staff is here to help and to support you in learning and growing in your role. We are always learning. This is an industry that is constantly changing. I've been around since 2009, and just as soon as you think you've got it down, something new happens and changes. It's an exciting time in our world to be able to think about, what are the needs in our communities? How can we come together at times where there's disarray or discontent? It's nice to know there can be some common thread of community hope and community support that a lot of our granting and resources assist with. So I think that's at the end of the day what makes this work rewarding and valuable to our communities. Carrie, anything you want to add?
I would just say, piggybacking on that, looking at disaster relief, and if any of our communities experience, whether it's from a tornado or fire or flood, whatever it might be, we do have a protocol that we follow within the affiliates to start a fund or and get the fund going. There is some money in there already for the affiliates, and that's something we can always check for you to let you know how much is in there. But it was through a grant that we received that we were able to help fund some seed money to help with disasters. But the main purpose to utilize the community foundation, it would be to help funnel funds through. So if you're trying to help and people are wanting to donate but don't know where to donate to, we can help funnel those funds through to get them to the appropriate entities to help the communities. So with the timing right now, with all of the crazy weather, I think that's something that is very important to note, that we do have that available and can implement that when the time is needed.
Kevin, which foundation are you with? I'm not sure where you're aligned.
Just aligned recently with the Newton Community Foundation.
Okay, very good. Very good. Several of you been on here for that. And then Krista with joining the Women's Community Foundation. We appreciate you guys participating, and just know we're all accessible. We're around. We're a resource to support the work that you're doing at the local table and local community efforts. So let us know how we can help. And if you have other questions, but it does help to do a little bit of a dive onto the website and just learn a little bit more as you're getting acquainted. I think I'm going to turn the recording off, and then